Welcome. Okay, the purpose of this video is to talk about a tool called Scrible or Scribble. You can decide how you want to say the name of this tool, but I found this tool that's called that allows you to capture web pages and annotate them. I think this is something we can use to share web resources with each other, to demonstrate whether your interaction with the page and what you're learning from it, what you're gaining from it, how you're going to use some of this information, and also to be able to make it available to share with someone else. An alternative use case for this tool is to be able to capture and maintain hyperlinks. I know on the web, as a teacher, I create links in our learning management system all the time, and often those links go dead after a while. Someone changes the page, moves it, maybe it becomes no longer available. They take it down. There's lots of reasons why things change on the web all the time. So I've been saddened many times by losing some of those great resources, either videos or web pages that explain things. Here's an example of one. In my project management class, when I teach about quality metrics, this is probably one of the better pages I've ever seen on how to build a quality metrics system or program. This is on a website called Inform IT, and it gives an example of Motorola and how they established goals, and then they took those goals and they built questions around them and then turned them into metrics or measurements to allow them to measure whether they were making progress or not. Well, I want to keep this resource and link it so that students in my class can see a great example of a quality metrics approach to project management. So I don't want to lose this source. I'm pretty sure Inform It is a magazine that sometimes things change on the site. So I'm going to go out. I went out to this website called Scribble, and I'll link this with the video here in a minute, so you'll know where to go find this. But I found this toolbar that allows you to interact with the page. You'll see I've just loaded it. I've created a bookmark to it so I can click the link. It loads this little toolbar and allows me to annotate what's on the page. So now what I'm going to do is scroll down here and say, for example, I just want to highlight how they went through this process of building goals, establishing measurement areas, and then turning those goals into metrics. So I'm just going to highlight that part of the page, which is a good chunk of the page, but not all of it. Your highlighting can become a lot more intelligent than mine. You can also annotate it. Here, if I can take this little note tool, and I'm just going to add this to the side. Now I'll just add it right there, and I'll say great example of a process of building metrics to measure the level of quality of a product or process. Okay, now the way this works, some of the other tools on here, you have several available to you. I'm just showing you a couple of the basics. You can share these on Twitter, on Facebook, all this kind of thing. But the one that I'm going to highlight here is creating a permalink to this page. If I click on that, oh great, of course I had to get an error while I try and do this. If I click on that permalink, what it does is it creates a copy of that page with my annotations on it, and then creates a link that I can maintain permanently. It saves this page out to my Scribble or Scribely account, and then I can use this link instead of relying on the Inform It page to keep this link for good. I now have this little local copy that I maintain in the cloud. It's stored on Scribely's servers, but I now have this permalink that I can maintain whether I keep that link or not. I don't have to be dependent on what Inform It does anymore. Also, I can share this with my friends. I can show them my annotations and my notes. I can share it with my class. There's a lot of ways that I can interact with this now. So I'm just going to copy this link and I'll use it in other places. And that essentially is how an example of how I think we can use Scribble or Scrible. You'll notice it's in a beta version right now. This may change soon, so it's just an example. Thanks for your time.